live via the internet at vintageradio.org.uk. This is Vintage Radio.
It is, and it's just gone 9 o'clock. It's actually 1 minute past. So, good morning, Kevin.
Good morning, Jan.
No
weather today?
No, I can do the weather if you want me to do the weather.
Yeah. I just think it's
miserable. It's October weather. It was lovely yesterday, though, wasn't it?
It was a bit chilly.
Not up in Morecambe, it wasn't. It was.
Was you in Morecambe for the day?
Yeah.
You get around you, don't you?
Yeah, don't I just, yeah. And I got my photo took with Eric Morecambe. Yeah.
On the statue?
Statue, yeah.
See, is he just on his own, that statue? You think that he should have any wives, shouldn't he?
Well, I mean, he took the name Morecambe, didn't he? It was Eric Bartholomew. But there was a couple and their two little ones getting their photo. There was a crowd, he had to queue up. And I said to him, he just had his photos took. And he said, what a great comedian he was. And I said, he doesn't look anything like Pennywise. This fellow burst out laughing. Look, everywhere you look, there's comedians.
Especially in Liverpool as well. What did Arthur Askey say? Everyone from Liverpool is a comedian.
Yeah.
And he said you'd have to be a comedian to live in Liverpool.
Yeah. But we went to the markets, Morecambe Markets. Yeah. The festival market's brilliant. They got a vinyl shop there. Vinyl.
I thought you said vile. I'm going to say
I was spoiled for choice. They had a Beatles LP there for 26 quid. I said to him, I paid £1.50 for that, 30 bob when I bought it brand new.
What one was it? What LP was it?
Please Please Me.
Was it?
Yeah. So, but I was just spoiled for choice, so I didn't buy any.
You getting on?
No.
It's always the way you go out to buy something and come back.
Well, but I was limited funds, so I thought, well, should I get that one or that one or that one? And, nah, I want them all. I can't afford them, so I won't get any.
You still got because you put your guitars up, didn't you? Have you still got them?
I sold me 12 string. Yeah, the guy came from the other side of Manchester for it.
Did he?
Yeah, he's brought his grandson and he's plugged it in and he's playing away there. And this is awesome. So I did ask 275 for it, but he said, "Will you take 250?" I said, "Yeah, I'll take 2. Seeing as you've come all this way, I wasn't going to argue. I mean, I never get to use it.
Yeah.
So I've got my Fender Starcaster, and I've got a lovely keyboard as well. That's they'll go for sale. My big Yamaha, that's getting buried with me. There's no way that's going. But if anyone wants a good Roland DI, I think it is, keyboard, absolutely fantastic. Hardly been used. Yeah. It's hardly been used. That can go. You can have that for 200 quid, and I'll take 75 for me Fender. Anyone wants some?
You're talking.
Get in touch.
I'm no good. I played the drums when I was in school for a brief period, and remember Chesney Hawkes?
Yeah.
He was doing the tour of schools, and I played backing drums to when he done in the school concert. It was good. But it all went downhill from then. Yeah. I was all right. I could hold a tune.
I mean, I played with the items. What we used to do, we'd swap over. Now, when we played Massachusetts. Now, Steve, the drummer, he was a brilliant musician. He would go on the organ, and I would go on the drums. And then Kenny, the bass guitar, would go on rhythm guitar. And the rhythm guitarist, John Hilton, he would go on bass.
So you used to swap around?
We'd swap, and people say, wow, these are good, Yeah. And then we'd swap over again for another song. So I'd probably go on the bass, and we'd all swap around. But if somebody said, can you play such and such for us? We'd swap back to our own instruments.
What you were more comfortable with?
Yeah, cool, I couldn't play it. So, but they think, wow, this is great, they were very talented. But, we were talented. It was just a shame that, things overtook us.
Well, the guy who's coming on next week, Billy, he's the manager of the Cavern Club.
What's his name?
Billy.
Bill Heckle?
No, Bill Patton.
Oh, I thought it was going to be Billy Heckle.
No, if it was him, I wouldn't bring him on back.
He owns him with Davy Jones. They own Cavern, don't they?
Well, it's funny. I'll show you the picture now, which is pointless on radio. But if you go on
it's in full colour, folks.
It's very scary. It looks scary. If you go on Lionheart Liverpool on Instagram and Facebook, it's on there. But he got in touch and he said, "This is going to make a liar out of me now." Yeah, I'll show it to you.
I'll hold it up to the mic and
Show
everyone
it to the
can see it.
mic. Can you see that? Can you see like the blonde woman?
Yeah.
Now there's half a face of a blonde woman there.
Yeah.
Now that picture was took on, I think it's called Panoramic, where they get the full view in.
Yeah.
Which people, I put it online last night and people said, oh, it's because it's panoramic. I said, yeah, we know it's panoramic, but the girl in the picture, no one knows who she is. So I know it's panoramic to get the full view in, but it looks like it's cropped someone's half a head out.
Yeah.
But everyone in the picture, if you zoom out, it's like it's the full family there, and no one knows who the lady in the picture is.
Yeah.
But the house he lives in, it's off Vauxhall Road over Liverpool. But he said there's a few different things that's been happening, and I don't want to. It's strange, that, isn't it? I don't want to ruin his thing, because he said he'll be on Netflix.
Did I just press delete then?
It's alright, it's online. Yeah. But he said that especially his youngest son, there's been a few things happening, and I said, well, come on and tell, because it's better for someone to tell it than for me to say I've just spoke to Bob and blah blah blah, because a lot's happened.
Yeah.
And I think he's got a few stories about when he's worked in the Cavern Club as well.
But what I did once, I set my camera up and I put it on long play, very very slow. It was a cassette, but I've still got the camera actually. And I set it up in the hall and put it on record, you know. And I thought, well, if we're going to see anything, you know, it'll pick it up. But sadly, we never saw anything. The next day, there was all sorts of noises and bangs.
It wasn't that.
Yeah, maybe he was camera shy.
Yeah, even like the voice we got, it's rare occasions, isn't it?
Yeah.
People think you go down. It's not like you're guaranteed to see anything as soon as you go somewhere. But he said that house that they're in now, it's not even that old. It was built, the old Tate and Lyle in Liverpool.
Yeah.
It was built on that site.
We went past there yesterday.
Oh, did you?
Yeah.
Across Vauxhall Roadway?
Yeah, we're coming down from Southport.
You get around, you?
Oh, don't I just? Well, we did the full trip. From Morecambe, we went down to Lancaster, through Lancaster, and then we went down through Fleetwood. Yeah. And then right along the front of Blackpool, and then we went down past where the Natterjacks are, in Formby.
Oh, yeah.
And then through Southport.
Like a magical mystery tour?
Yeah. Well, it was on our way home. When you come to a roundabout and you see the sign, I've just missed the sign, let's go around again.
I'm off to, where am I off to? A cemetery. I don't know if I can name it because she might get in trouble. There's a girl who comes into one of my places of work, and she lives in the old gravedigger's house on one of the cemeteries over in Liverpool. But they're only open dusk till dawn, aren't they?
It's not Stanley Cemetery, is it?
No, it's Toxteth, off Smithdown Road. And she said that tomorrow night we can go down, and because they've got the key for the cemetery.
Yeah. But why did he lock the cemetery? Nobody's going to escape.
I think you can look at Anfield Cemetery by
Anfield Cemetery, that's what I was thinking, yeah.
A lot of the graves are all knocked over and flat on the floor because kids go in and knock them over.
My nan and granddad are there. I've never been. I must go one day. It's parking now. Find somewhere to park.
It's hard as well. I don't even know where my nan and granddad. I don't know where they're buried, but I don't know. He's one of them, isn't he? Because I never knew them. I don't see the point in going to see them now.
Well, funny, we were talking about it yesterday. My daughter, my granddad passed away, and well, we don't go there, but my inheritance was nicked. Twice I had my inheritance nicked. That's why I've got an house. And my nan, they stripped the house. Yeah. You know, my nan went to live with my auntie. And Sherilyn, my daughter, she was born, first one. And she was only a month old, and we took her over. And it was funny, really, because I said to her, Grandma, here's your very first great-grandchild. This is Sherilyn. She was sitting in a rocking chair. Oh, give her here, she said. And she got hold of her and she gave her a kiss. Said, oh, she's gorgeous. And my wife, Kathy, she said, be careful now, don't drop. She said, hey, I was cradling babies before your mother was born. That was been hand for you. Sadly, she passed away a few weeks later. Yeah. So she only ever got to hold one great-grandchild, and that was our Shelley. Yeah. But this even then, she was a comedian.
Your nan was?
Yeah. And, you got no change out of her, you know. I was surprised. And Grandad was the same. It must be something in the water in Liverpool, you know. That's
what. Yeah, it's weird, isn't it?
But you can't knock them down because they'll bounce up twice as hard.
Every Scouser, do you think they're a comedian, don't they? Or you come from over our way. They've all got attitude as well.
But it's sort of spread over this side as well, you know. Yeah. It's But it's just funny that, you know, we were talking about it, and how she got to hold. And I'd like to think that she's keeping an eye on our Shelley, you know. So yeah, but it was sad though, because I went over. I had a bit of a falling out with my auntie, and I was in the right, she was in the wrong. I will admit that now, but she wouldn't see it. And anyway, when I married Joan, I said, I'll take you over to meet my auntie, and I knocked on the door in Cathedral Road. You know Cathedral Road? Yeah. You know, it's cul-de-sac. And I knocked on the door. It's all right, just requests coming in, we'll do them on Wednesday. And this young girl answered the door, and I said, is Ethel in? Is that Ethel? Never heard of her. And then a woman down the road, she came out, she said, "Are you John? Oh, nice to see you, I haven't seen you for ages," you know. And she's one of the neighbours, and she said, "Oh, Ethel passed away." I said, "Nobody told us." That was where the family went then, you know. She said, "Oh yeah, David and Joan, that was my cousins, they were here and all this and that, you know." And I said, "Well, isn't it nice?" You know, they couldn't even bother to tell me, you know, that my favourite auntie had passed away. So, as I say, you know, the family's all... Well,
a lot of families go like, you have the one person as well who keeps everyone together, don't you?
Yeah. But one of my aunties, my mum's sister, we went to see her, and she was showing us photographs and everything. And I phoned her up a few weeks later, and I said, "Can you give me your postal address so I can send you a Christmas card?" And you know what she said? "Oh, I wish you wouldn't bother." Tells you a lot, doesn't it? Yeah. So
save you money on the stamp.
It did, and the card.
It's terrible. See, families are worse than, because once you fall out with a family, it can be. Yeah. Can be. I mean, every family's the same. My family. Do you know what I mean? You wouldn't be. You'd be surprised. But I'm one of them. If you don't want to talk, don't talk. I'm not bothered. It doesn't bother me. Do you know what I mean?
I mean, I like to keep in touch with my grandchildren now. My daughter, she lives in Wigan. Idiot. I think she likes black pudding. She lives in Wigan, and my son, he's training to be a paramedic, and I said to him, you know, I need to see you. What for? I said, because you're my son. I said, it is nice to give you a hug now and again. I'm your dad. You know. Well, I'm busy, I'm working. I said, okay, fair enough. Now, it was his wife's Sarah, it was her birthday, and I only found out on Facebook. I said, you know, why didn't you tell me? I feel awful because I haven't sent her a card, and I always make sure you've got a card, you know. I mean, it's my other daughter Sharon, it's her birthday on Wednesday. I've got her card, and I'll take a card and put a few bob in it for her, you know. And all the great grandkids now, it cost me a fortune. It really does. But you have to set your stall out. They get 10 quid, even for Christmas. They get a little envelope, and every one of them will get 10 quid. They get 10 quid for the birthday. If they don't like it, tough, because I'm not a millionaire, you know.
I think people go too far these days, don't they?
Yeah.
There's a lot of people who, I mean, even I, £500-600 sometimes for the.
I mean, it's down, okay. There's some people who couldn't afford 10 quid. You know, maybe I'm well off because, but I've been saving up, and like I was just telling Kevin, I got a scratch card this morning. As I do when I get me paper, you know, and I scratched it off, 100 quid. Well, that goes in the envelope. That's Christmas.
You keep everything.
Yeah, it all stays in the envelope there, and once it's there, it's there. And then come Christmas, I'll open it up and I'll put, you know, 10 quid in the cards for them all. They all get a 10 quid between them.
It's between the 40 of them.
But if anyone ever sends down and says, "Oh, you miserable sod, is that all I'm getting?" That will be the last 10 quid. Yeah. I mean, there's some people out there now, 10 quid would be an absolute fortune for them. You know, it's sad. I mean, this is 2018.
It's ridiculous, isn't it?
Yeah. I mean, I was reading before, I was saying, there used to be a tailor up in New Ferry, and you could get a made-to-measure suit for £15. And you used to pay 5 quid a week. It took 3 weeks to make your suit.
Pay it off.
You'd go and pay a £5, and then your first fitting another £5. When you picked it up, you paid the last £5. And now these charity shops are selling pretty nice, decent clothes, so you can go for an interview for 10 quid. Some people haven't even got 10 quid.
Yeah.
Yeah.
See, that's it. When you go, you see, like...
But to have to go to a charity shop.
Shops and pay a tenner for it.
Yeah.
It's bad, and we've said it a few times over the past few weeks, haven't we? The amount of homeless over here as well, and over in Liverpool, it's illegal to beg, I believe.
Yeah.
Is that correct?
There's a fella, he sits by the Halifax. He's very polite. Got any spare change there? But it's begging. It's begging. Now, I have given him money in the past, but not when he's asked. When he's been sitting there.
Yeah.
I said, "Here, mate, go and get yourself a cup of tea."
Yeah.
And he's very polite and everything. But it's illegal to beg, and it's illegal to give money to a beggar. So I don't want to break the law. If he asks me for money and I give him some, I'm breaking the law. I'm not going to do it.
Excuse me. It's ridiculous though, because there's a new minister for suicide.
Yeah.
And you're thinking to yourself, oh well, yeah, put ministers, whatever else, but you need people actually on the floor. Do you know what I mean? People going out and working with them in the community rather than say, oh, we are. Yeah. I mean, don't get me wrong, like when I first heard it, I just prayed to God it wasn't Esther McVeigh or Ian Duncan Smith. Because I thought...
Well, they'd be giving you suicide, they'd be going around handing suicide pills out, wouldn't they?
Yeah, they'll be the one helping you go.
Yeah.
But it's funny enough, I was thinking of, because the old disappearance of the Saudi journalist, have you been keeping up to date on this?
Yeah.
I can't, that's bizarre, isn't it?
Yeah.
I mean, he went in. It was only for marriage papers, wasn't he? He went in to sort out papers for his marriage. He went to
sort some papers out, yeah.
And never came back out again.
Yeah.
But I was watching, and I don't know why I watch it, like I was watching the Andrew Marr show yesterday and Sunday Politics and whatever else, and...
I love him. He ties him up in knots.
But you hear the difference out between Labour and the Conservative, how they wear things, don't you? Because Emily Thornberry was on and she was saying she wants to sanction sales to Saudi Arabia of arms. Well, I think it was since the war, well, they call it a war in Yemen, since what's been going on in Yemen, it's like something like £4 billion worth of arms have been sanctioned.
Yeah. Do you know, if you send some food and maybe some nice CDs, you might forget all about war.
But they won't. I mean, I was watching a video, I think we spoke about it not long ago, and there was this busload of school kids, and they were going on a trip in school. This is in Yemen, and they were bombed by the Saudi fighter jets. But then their response was, we thought it was an enemy target. Yeah. This is a busload full of kids, you know.
It's got national travel on the side.
But when...
Anyway, we're not supposed to talk politics and religion.
No, it's not.
We get chucked off. No, but the world's just going mad.
It is. It's ridiculous. I mean, I know, like we can...
Yeah. I mean, you've got Trump now. He's got these aircraft carriers up in the Norwegian Sea, and he's saying to Putin, "Come on, try it. Come on, lad. Go ahead, lad." You know.
He won't.
Is he asking for a war?
See, the thing is, because I know, like, I've been in trouble in the past over like the politics and stuff. But the thing is, for me, I don't look at it as politics. It's human rights.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So you're trying to mention it because there will be people out there who won't be aware of what's going on. And you know, because as you said, you've been a socialist all your life growing up. You'll see the two sides.
Yeah.
But I just don't, nothing will change. Do you know what I mean? Because we sell too many arms to Saudi Arabia and Israel, and we won't change it because we make too much money off it.
Yeah. Oh, it's wicked. Anyway, let's have a little bit of music. And it's just coming up to 9:30 here.
I wish you'd buy a battery
Radio.
for that clock.
Yeah, I think that's what it is. I think the battery's dropping. It's 9:20 on the studio clock, and it's 9:30 on...
I looked down and thought, I wonder if they deleted the last 10 minutes of the show. Just threw me back at 9:20 to shut me up.
Yeah, now we'll have to stick a new battery in it, you know. So anyone wants to donate a battery,
times are hard, folks.
Yeah.
But I was saying, Halloween's coming up.
Yeah.
It all depends which way you're gonna. Because some people go for
We go out.
You go for a pint? Or?
Actually, I saw a thing. It was lovely. It was on Facebook, and it said, "Look, if you see houses where they've got pumpkins outside and they've got little decorations and little skeletons hanging up, you know, by all means, knock on the door, you know, and get trick or treat. But if you see a house where there's nothing, it could be, you know, an old person or somebody, you know, who's bits, and they get a knock on the door in the dark, they're going to be terrified, you know. And especially if they open the door and they see a scary face standing there, you know, it could frighten them. He said, so, you know, have a bit of sense about it. What we used to do, we used to have a sign and said, you know, ghosts welcome, spirits welcome. And my missus used to make treacle toffee lollipops. And you know those little tinfoil trays?
Yeah.
You get these things. Well, she used to make them in them. And she'd make about 20 or 30. And then we'd go and we'd get the Haribo, big bag of Haribo, and we'd split it all up into little bags and everything. And the kids would come along, you know, and you give them some sweeties. And we would always give them one of these treacle toffees. And these kids would come, and the mums were at the end of the driveway, you know, and the kids were there. Which I like, you know, the mother's parents should be with them. Anyway, we gave them these treacle toffee lollies and some sweets and everything. And about 2 or 3 minutes later, there's a knock on the door again. And this little girl stood there. And I said, oh, didn't you get any sweeties? She said, yes, but my mummy said, can she have one of those lollies? So there was only two mothers with her. I said, come on then, come on, go a lolly each.
See, it's very Americanised now, though, isn't it?
Well, it is all Americanised, yeah. We used to have duck apples. My dad used to put his foot on my head, you know, and hold me under.
That's where it came from.
He loved me, my dad. Yeah, also they hang them up as well, bob up. You know, they pin into the seat and blindfold you and you try to get the apples. And the thing is, somebody would hold it away. And
they don't do that no more, do they?
No, they don't do anything like that now. But it was just so simple. I mean, you know, your mum would go out and she'd get a couple of apples, you know, maybe half a dozen apples and a bowl of water, and that was your bit of fun.
I remember growing up, everyone had a black bin bag as a costume. Everyone's bin bag with it.
Yeah.
Everyone had a black bin back then.
Yeah, and I mean now some of them go and pay 20, 30 quid for an outfit.
You know? And the rest. Jesus.
Yeah.
But I mean, we were not doing anything on it for like a ghost hunt wise, but it's good because you do get a lot of people out, and it is good. But I think over the past few years, it seems to have died off where you don't get many kids knocking trick or treating.
No.
I remember when I was a kid, I used to look forward to for ages.
But what we did. A few years ago, we knew the kids over the road. There was a lovely family. We knew the kids were there. So I said, look, my wife's not very well, so she's going to be in bed, and I've got to go out. I said, so here's your sweeties, little bag of sweets. I said, there was 5 of them. I said, right, one for you, one for you, one for you. I said, now, don't knock on the door. Yeah. And if you see any others around, we just tell them not to knock on the door because my wife's in bed and she's going to have to, you know, and she's not very well. I said, so you've had your sweets. That's it, you know. And anyway, it was great. And I came home and she said, no, nobody knocked. She said, I could hear the kids in the streets and everything, but nobody knocked. And that's nice, you know, that's friendly neighbourhood, you know.
That's it, even, but it's not many, you don't get many. I mean, we decorate outside ours for it, because you used to decorate the room, but we've got that, you've got like different figures and props, so we just decorate outside the house. And the little one, my little great nephew's getting bigger now, he's nearly 2, so he's big enough.
There's only one I would like. Around. I don't know if you know Blackpool very well.
Yeah.
Do you know the Christmas shop?
Yeah.
I love it, that Christmas shop. Now, they've got a butler, like Lurch.
A costume, like an outfit?
No, it's a dummy.
Oh, yeah.
And it's a automation thing. Yeah. And he's got this tray, you know, and he said, good evening, sir. I will serve you shortly. You know, and his eyes light up for him. I'd love to have one of them. And put it by the door, and when the kids knock, you know, and you open the door, and they wouldn't come back again.
The Christmas, that's the one that's...
I think it's about 500 quid for this, you know.
Is it?
But it's about 6 foot tall as well. I think, how the hell will I get that home?
Don't get it now before you get your new car. Yeah. We're going to Blackpool on the 27th of Saturday. Because I'm not a big fan of the lights and whatever else, but we're going. We used to go every year until my auntie died, and then I stopped going then. But we went last year for the first time in about 10 years, and then we're going again. Like my sister and the kids.
I was looking to see if the firework display was.
Saturday.
You know the World Championships.
Oh.
We saw them a few years ago. We saw the Chinese. Wow. and it's free. It was up on the North Pier, and it was raining for theirs. The British one, we saw that one. It was cold, but it was, we were stood out in the front. But the Chinese one, it was chucking it down. And I had my mother-in-law and their friend, and we managed to park a car down this. It's like a cul-de-sac thing, facing the prom, right facing the thing. So we sat in the car. I've got the heater on, the wipers going, and we saw everything. We had a perfect view. And it was great to just sit there, and the heater is lovely and warm, and it's lashing down outside. And surely they can't be setting fireworks off in this, but they did, and it was really good. But I thought if the World Championships was on, we'd go up again.
Well, I know on the Saturday before Halloween, there's a massive display at 10 o'clock, but I don't think that's the World Champion. I think that's just to do with. Because in the Pleasure Beach itself on the Saturday night, they're showing films and the fancy dress contest and everything else.
It shows you how good it is. That's we're going past. I said to Lynn, you see over there, so Britney Spears was on there a few weeks ago, and Elton John's played there. All the tops they bring. God knows what it must cost them. To put a free show on.
When they put the lights on.
Yeah. And. So they put a full show on there, but because you can't move then.
See, it's a shame with Blackpool as well, isn't it? Because I didn't know the way they have Strictly Come Dancing, they have the later shows, and one of them criticised it, didn't he, last week? Yeah. Said about it, but yourself.
So it was a dump.
Yeah, but it's not a dump, but it's when you go, it's like the front of it's brilliant. You've got the Golden Mile and whatever else, but it's like any other town or city, isn't it?
But the good thing about it's a 30 mile an hour blanket speed limit in Blackpool. Everywhere is 30 miles an hour, and you go above that. People say, "Oh, look at the cameras." There's cameras on the lampposts and everything. Yeah. And okay, if you want to be daft, pay £80 speeding fine for doing 40. All that money goes into for the good of the town, But I set it on my speed limiter. I can't go above 30 then, But but I've got some bittersweet memories when we had the band. It's a long time ago. We got a chance to play the Manchester for 5 nights.
Yeah,
and I thought, wow, £100 a night they were paying. We were waiting for 20 quid a night, and they were £100 a night. We couldn't do it.
How come?
Because our roadie, he had a Bedford van, Bedford minibus, and he said, well, where are we going to stay? And he said, oh, well, you have to come every day, come every day. And we were working we were doing a lunch spot, and then we were doing a night spot. But he couldn't do it. 5 nights travelling all the way up to Blackpool, so we couldn't do it. But if they'd have said to us, well, we got some rooms upstairs, you can crash out, we'd have done it. He'd have dropped us off, gone home, because he was working as well.
And then picked you up.
But we just couldn't do it. I thought, there's bands who've played there who've gone on to the piers.
Is he?
Yeah, so you get spotted, sometimes you get someone like, I don't know, Frank Ifield, and he'll go in there for the pint. Yeah. You do see quite a lot of these people, and they say, hey, these are good. I want them on my show. Bang, you've got it then.
It's a shame nothing happens like that. It's weird, and not years ago.
Timing.
We were talking about the old, even when I was going up to when Everton Liverpool, the players would go for a pint before, and even after the game,
they do.
They'd be in the Blue House or whatever else. Yeah. But now they don't. Maybe Tranmere, but you can't get near the celebrities, aren't they?
I remember George, who used to do the Everton tour, and I was good friends with him, and he was telling that we had these Newcastle supporters, and it was a soccer weekend, and they went to see Everton West Ham in the afternoon. Then we took them to the Cavern Saturday night, so they had a night out, and the next day we took them back to Goodison for the tour. And he said, you know what he said? What do you lot like with Middlesbrough or, Sunderland? I said, oh, we hate them. Yeah. Said, what do you think about us? And them fellas over the park. I bet you hate each other. He said, no, we don't. You don't. He said, you know what? When there's a derby game for 90 minutes, we kick hell out. We hate each other. Oh, boy, we hate each other. As soon as our final whistle goes, he said, me and Stevie McMahon, I said, Stevie, see you in an hour, mate, and we'll go and pick the wives up, and we'll go into town and have a meal. He said, and you see them all there. different. We had special places where we knew we could have a bit of privacy, sort of thing, and you'd see them there. Ian Rush and his missus, and he'd probably be with Duncan Ferguson and his wife. He said they're all mates. He said, but for 90 minutes on the derby game, we kicked lumps out of each other.
It's a shame now with the way it's gone. Do you know what I mean? I think it's. I mean, growing up, my dad said he used to see. You go for after the game, you'd have like Tony Kay and. Do you know what I mean? Alex Young, Colin Harvey. They're all going for a pint, but now you can't get near none of the players. I mean, one of my mates, his little daughter was a mascot at the Liverpool game. Was it the West Ham game? Liverpool-West Ham. Now, this was from a local school in Anfield. They were mascots. They went into the changing rooms and had a look around and whatever else, and then they were brought into the main hall. Now, they were told, you can't ask for autographs off the players. You can't ask for pictures off the players. The only contact you can have with the players, if you make a line out, put your hand up, they'll high five you. But before they high five you, you're given a little antiseptic gel.
Yeah,
so you have to wash their hands.
Daft, isn't it?
So they weren't allowed to get autographs. They weren't allowed to get a picture. Yeah. The only thing they could do is put their hand up, and some of the players might high five them, some of them mightn't.
That's daft, isn't it? That's they're only people. Let's put it this way: they still use toilet paper.
Well, that's it. He was saying she was looking forward to getting Salah's autograph.
Yeah.
So you got all these say 15, 20 school kids.
I was talking about Salah. I was watching the last home game, and there was a little lad, and he held a sign up, and he said, "Mr. Salah, can I have your shirt, please?" Not Mo. Yeah. Mr. Salah, can I have you? And Mo saw him, took his shirt off, and handed it to him, and I thought, he's a gentleman. And I've heard that in Liverpool 1. Mo's been there with his wife, and people have gone up, and I have to say, "I'm Mo, all right, Mo." Yeah. And he ignored, but people have gone up and said, "Mr. Salah, they were talking about because he hasn't scored for a while." And he said, "Don't worry about it. We don't mind. Yeah. We just love seeing you play anyway." But it's Mr. Salah, and he said, "Could I possibly have a photograph with you?" And he said, "Yeah." And he's given the camera to his wife, and he said, "Well, can I have one with you?" "Oh no, just me." And his wife took the photograph, and he shook hands, and he said, "What a lovely fella he is, And that's how they should be, because they'll go home and they'll say to somebody who maybe hasn't been to Liverpool, "Come on, you've got to go. I suppose it's 45 quid or something for the ticket now." And
the rest, it's ridiculous. But I mean, these are kids who, going back to that, she bought an autograph book at the club shop. These are kids who adore the players. You think all it takes is a couple of minutes for a few autographs, and even if they got a squad picture with the kids. As together, but you weren't allowed to ask, you weren't allowed to talk to myself.
That's ridiculous, isn't it? I mean, we used to stand outside. I mean, I had Ian Rush's signature, Kevin Keegan's, and we'd stand outside after the game, and he'd come out. But I always learned, if you say Mr.
Well, you were saying that,
Yeah, when they come out, when they're in the suit, they are Mr. And you say, "Mr. Keegan, could I possibly have your autograph?" "Certainly." And he'd sign it, Kevin. I say, "What's your name?" He said, "Right, Sir John. All the best, Kevin Keegan." Ian Rush, "Mr. Rush, can I have you?" Yeah, and got them, loads of them. Even Joe Fagan as well, Mr. Fagan, and never got Kenny Dalglish's.
I've got Kenny Dalglish, because I was saying, do you remember I was queuing up to get my book signed? But I loved that. I mean, I'm an Evertonian, but you've got to have a lot of respect for what he done over Hillsborough as well. Yeah.
It's but again, the Everton players they were the same. They were there at the these things that they've done for them, because it's Liverpool. I
remember when there's a keeper used that. This is going back to when I was a kid. Steve Simonson, and we bought him off. I don't know whether we bought him.
No, you robbed him off us.
We didn't want him. Peter Johnson was, and he was. I thought he was dreadful. And I remember going over to see Everton play Tranmere in the friendly, and the players come out the back, don't they? Just going back when Myra and Simonson was playing, the players used to go to the big white doors, and they go along where the wall is.
I don't know.
Like the players' entrance at the back of the ground.
Oh yeah, to go through the door there. Yeah.
You're hanging round.
Going into the stadium.
Just going in, So I was hanging round for autographs and whatever, and he come past Steve Simpson, I thought, oh, he's awful. And Thomas Meyer come past. Meyer was our keeper before him, and he played for Norway, but he had a broken leg. And then he fell, didn't he, in the bath and broke his other one. And he was a good keeper. I remember saying to him, I'm devastated that we've been cheeky.
But one of my jobs at Tranmere Rovers, because I was a steward then, and before I became a supervisor, and one of my jobs was to stand by the players' entrance when they were coming in, open the door for them, because it was on a fob, and he'd open the door for them and keep the kids away. You know, and they'd all be there, you know, and they say, I'm sorry, you know, these gentlemen, they've got to get the heads right and everything for the game. If you want autographs, get them after the game when they come out. And the number of times when the players say, oh, thanks very much, you know. Right. But some of them would say, no, it's all right, steward, I'll sign for them. Right. So, okay, but, you know, I don't get into trouble. Yeah. And they'd sign, but most of the time you just say, look, these lads have... you know, they've got to go in. They've got a lot of things to do before they get out onto the pitch. So wait for them after the game, and I'm sure they'll sign. And they'd say, "Yeah, we'll sign when we come out." So, but the one I missed, Stanley Matthews.
Did you ever get his? You know.
Shook his hand.
Yeah.
They were playing. Tranmere was playing Stoke in a cup game, and Harry Leyland was in goal for Tranmere. So any of you Super White Army out there, you'll remember that. And what we used to do, Tranmere always kicked into the cowshed first. No, they didn't. They used to kick into the cop first, and then they'd kick into the cowshed second for some reason. Then, and Harry Leyland was in goal, and we were all in the cowshed. Now at half time, it was a big switch around. You'd walk around the ground, and we'd all head for the cop, and the cop would come down. And Stanley Matthews was having a bit of a kick about, you know, just before the game. And I ran onto the pitch with my little autograph book. I said, Stanley, can I have your autograph, please? And he said, I can't sign now, son. He said, see me after the game and I'll sign for you. So I said, okay, thanks very much. And I shook his hand. And when I came back, Harry Leyland got hold of me, give me a thick ear. Get off the pitch. I saw him. He had a stall in the market, you know, in Beckland Markets, Harry. And I said to him, you don't remember me, do you, Harry? Should I? I said, you should do. You give me a thick ear one day when you play Stoke. Oh, you're the little swiner.
Did he clip you on the ear?
Yeah. He grabbed hold of me, give me a smack round the head. Yeah, get off the pitch. They could do it in them days.
Imagine that now.
Yeah. But the thing was, I never got to wait after the game to get Stanley Matthews out.
Did you get kicked out?
No. They didn't kick it out then. But and the other thing, you see it on the telly now, it kills me laughing. You get somebody who runs on the pitch, and you see half a dozen stewards chasing after him.
Like a scene out of Benny Hill, isn't it?
Yeah. And they do rugby tackles and they miss. You know, we were always told, if somebody runs on the pitch, if you know, you've got them at Everton, you've heard them, the ding dong goes and it'll say Operation Goodison or whatever. Yeah. Well, ours is Operation Tranmere. And what happens is all the stewards ring the pitch.
Yeah.
And we used to open the main doors, the main gates. Now we don't. We just stand by the main gates. Because when we opened them, half a dozen people had run in. Yeah. So now they just stand by the gates. But they ring the pitch. Now, the same thing goes, if you get an intruder on the pitch, even though you don't get a ding-dong, you operate Operation Tranmere. Yeah. So the stewards will then ring the pitch. He can't go anywhere. Yeah. He can't go anywhere. Chances are sometimes one of the players will grab him and hand him over to a steward, in which case he's then handed over to one of these nice police officers. But if we haven't got police at the game, they're then handed to the head of security, which is Keith, and he will deal with it then. And usually he gets a thick ear and thrown out. But you don't go on the pitch. No. Because it just makes it worse.
It defeats the object, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Because you see it at Goodison as well, 5 minutes before half time. Excuse me. They're all...
Yeah, really do, yeah. And it's just, well, with the... It's not so much half time at Tranmere, but when the board goes up, then they all ring the pitch. And that day, we were really well organised. But I haven't done any this season. I only did a few last season, around about April. I went back just for a few games because they were short of stewards. I never got